Hey everybody, how you doing? It is Friday, September 14th. Start the new job here soon. And also big shout out to Jonathan Perez, the winner of the 500 subscriber giveaway. Sent out his package yesterday. He should be receiving it tomorrow. If you've seen the Facebook page for Mech Studios, you might have noticed what I actually sent him. Needless to say, it's a lot more than what I had shown in the video. I was feeling very generous, very thankful. So he got a very large box. Hopefully he'll post up pictures when he receives it. And I think he'll be very surprised. Again, congrats Jonathan. Thanks to everybody for entering the contest. And as of this morning, I have 606 subscribers. So I must be doing something right. So today I'm going to be doing a lot of videos. And they'll be over various subjects just because I've got the weekend before I start the new gig. I'm really excited for the new gig, you know. So yeah, so let's talk about these Strato minis. Okay, I've done this video like 4 or 5 times. Wasn't really feeling it a couple times, especially I tried to do it on September 11th. Of course, as you know, that's kind of an emotional day for a lot of us here. Me especially being from New York City. And knowing someone who lost their life in Tower Number 2. So we're not going to dwell on that. You know, things got taken care of. Let's talk about some minis. Alright, so again, these are the Hardbots by Strato Minis. I will post a link to their website in the description below. The buildings in the back, once again, are by Elida Game Studios. A link will also be posted to them in the description. So let's take a look. Now the first one I got, and I'm going to adjust the lighting here a little bit. The first one I had showed was the Scorcher. So the Scorcher is done. I really like the Scorcher. I don't know why it's my favorite out of all of them, but this is my favorite one out of all of them thus far. There are a couple others that I would like to get from Strato Minis, but this one's my favorite one thus far. As far as the magnification, it was just the arms and the torso. And just to note, on all the legs on all of them, they are in the static pose because of how they're cast. Somebody, just real quick to show, somebody asked if these legs are large enough to use for a dreadnought on 40K. So here's a 15mm figure, just to show you a size comparison. No, they're not going to be big enough, not at all. However, since I got the 15mm figure out, yeah, you could easily say this is, I wouldn't say it's a mech per se, in the traditional sense, but you could definitely see this as maybe a power armor of sorts, or, you know, a really tight squeeze to sit in there. This is a female, I can't remember the name of the mercenary company, formerly by Critical Mass Games, now owned by Rob Partha Europe. You can find these here. I honestly can't remember what they're called. This is the female. She's just here for a size comparison. So let's look at the Bullshark. Now, you know, I was really excited to get the Bullshark when I showed the opening video, the reveal video. Not a bad little mecha. I'm going to go ahead. Ooh, we got a little bug here. A little aphid. And the aphid is dead. Anyway, so we're going to take it apart. Again, torso is magnetized on this. Unfortunately, I had to use like 3 magnets because I didn't drill the right way. And I only have 2x3mm magnets. I have some 1x2mm coming in very soon. I'm going to talk about something about that here in a minute. So yeah, this part does have like a little ball, or rather it had like a half ball joint to sit inside this joint. But unfortunately when I drilled, it ate it away significantly. So I had to drill it out, and I had already drilled out the lower torso, so it ended up being too low. So there's 2 magnets in here, 1 magnet in here, works just fine. As far as the detailing goes, they're not bad at all. You can see, you know, this is kind of some hasty work, and I didn't notice until the other night that this part right here needed to get sanded down quite a bit more, because when you look at it like this, it seemed like it was fine, but I do need to do a little bit more work on there, sanding right here also, and the same can be said over here. The legs are one solid piece. Okay, so this is not a multi-part leg piece. It might work in their favor if they did that. I don't know. But for the most part, it's fine. I'm not trying to win any painting contests or anything like that with these. These are straight up for gameplay. Now let's go on to the arms. Let's take one off. The arms are magnetized. They do have holes in there. Don't need a drill. Oh, why is it doing this? Anyway, I only had to drill out so I could put a magnet in there, which in hindsight I probably should not have. But it's on both sides. Let's try to get this lighting down here a little bit better. There we go. So my only issue with this part is you can see it on the camera. There's two little lenses here. They're kind of light. Like, they're really hard to see without any type of magnification. Like, you're seeing this, it looks a lot better on camera than it does with the naked eye, at least to my vision. So these are details that, unfortunately, because it is a resin casting, will be lost. Okay, so just be prepared for that. They're there, but they might not be as crisp as you are hoping for. The other thing with these engine pods, and I'm hoping you can see the detail in here. Okay, you can. Well, let's try this again. So the air intakes are in there. Oh, sorry, I keep shaking the camera. Gotta wait until I get a better rig. So you can see the air intakes, the intake fan is there. And it's beautiful in there. Don't get me wrong. The only problem with this was with the casting, the outer cowling on both sides were a little bit over it. So you're going to have to do some very careful cutting and sanding. It's still not 100%. But again, if you know me, I don't like my stuff being fresh and clean. I like my mechs being dirty and used. Okay, and the same thing on the rear. That is after cutting. I haven't even bothered to sand it in there to try to make it even. But that is the result there. And then you have the mold line back here, which isn't bad. It's not a bad mold line, something to be expected. Can be cleaned up a little bit better. I would have magnetized this gun. However, the ball joint on this is rather small. And with the 2x3mm magnet, that wasn't going to happen. So this is in a static pose, which is fine. For my purposes, it's fine. The arms themselves, of course. Anyway, I think you can get the idea without it being like totally clear. Here's where the magnet is. There was, like, again, another half ball joint. Basically, that half ball joint would go right into there. And it wouldn't be sticking out as much as this, like mine is. So once I get my 1x1s, I'm probably going to remove the magnet from here, so it's a little bit closer to it, and it doesn't just fall like that. I think that's more due to my magnets just being what they are. Oops, sorry. So yeah, that's fine. The arms themselves are pretty nice. Nice detailing right there with the emitter nozzles. Mold line is on the bottom. Not very noticeable. Looks more like a metal seam than anything else. So yeah, the Bullshark, good to go. I'm looking forward and hoping that, again, with this new gig, I'll be able to get the 15mm version, because I really would like a 15mm version. And again, just to show off, 15mm figure. It would be more like a Zentradi battle pod, where they're kind of squished in there rather than being nice and comfortable like the officer's pod would be from the Macross days or Robotech days. So yeah, I could see this being a mobile, I would say a mobile armor for 15mm. This would be a mobile armor. Alright. So, now we'll go to the spinner. Now the spinner is in a total, pretty much static pose. All I did was magnetize the torso, as you can see, to give it a nice 360-degree rotation on there. The magnets are pretty good on this one. I guess I just got lucky with these. My only complaints on this one is the gates, the resin gates, and you know what? Let me get this here. So the resin gates, it goes right here, it connects here, it connects here, and then it connects here. So this one was very, very, very thin. So you can't even tell it was on there. This, however, was the thickest one, and then this right here was not quite as thick as this one, not as thin as the one that was there. So you can definitely see where they were attached. Unfortunately, I've been trying to clean this up right here. Not happening. So I'm going to have to do some trickery and do some weathering damage. This gate right here, there's, if you notice, there's like 1, 2, 3, we could just call them stripes, armor plates, whatever you want to call them. There was a 4th and 5th one, but unfortunately because of the sanding, those are gone. So they're not there anymore. Otherwise, the arms are also in a static pose because, quite honestly, with the position that they're in, I wasn't going to do any cutting or anything like that to make them a little bit more dynamic. So, I mean, this is fine. And it's called the spinner anyway. So, I mean, he just rotates around 360 degrees. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. Alright, we'll go ahead and put that down. Now, the back of it is actually quite gorgeous. It's very clean. Very, very clean. You know, that's a really nice casting right there. Very clean casting. The bottom as well, very clean casting as well. Like I said, it's definitely a 2-part mold, you could tell there, but this mold is probably the best one out of all of them that I've seen. The only thing, like I said, is where the gates were on the front. As far as the legs go, have the typical issues when it comes to casting in resin. One layer just did not completely go on there. The detail's still there. So again, more to the battle damage. I'm going to have to do, the gate was right here, as you can see. Did a little bit of sanding. It is flush. It looks like it's not, but it is flush. But the details are still on this legs. I like this little detail right here, the 3 little holes there and there. That's always cool. I don't know why. It's just something I think is fundamental to sci-fi mecha. So yeah, this one isn't bad at all. I like it. Now we have the Dutchman. So the Dutchman is completely static. Okay, I didn't even bother doing the magnification on here, on the waist, because it was just a little bit too thin. So I just made it into a static pose, which I liked. Not bad. My issues: this arm has like no posability whatsoever. I mean, it can move up and down maybe 1 or 2 degrees, either forward or backwards. That's about it. So no real point magnetizing it because you're not going to be able to move it. The other arm, the left arm here, it can move up and down, but really, what's the point? It's not holding another weapon. It's just kind of there. So yeah, just do it in a dynamic static pose. The other thing was kind of weird. This part of the main rifle, of the main gun, it is on right. These little button type things are supposed to be on the bottom. It just had a hard time getting flush with it. I don't know what happened, but I don't know. Maybe it just seems a little bit too big to fit with it, as you can see in the seam line, or I'm not sure. I mean, it looks fine. And when you look at it from the front, it is fine. Let's see. And the other thing, there were 2 holes, 2 air bubbles, one right here, one right there. Now the one on the lower torso, battle damage, easy to take care of. This one, not so much. I don't want to putty fill it, so I'm thinking I'm going to put some, it's called Plasma Fluid by Minotaur. It's one of the Badger's airbrush line from the Minotaur Ghost Tints, or Candy Colors, however you want to call them. So maybe this thing is going to be leaking some plasma fluid out of it. So it's a pre-damaged mech. Then as you see, the mold line here is kind of weird, because this piece right here is molded to this, so it runs up there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that as battle damage. I probably will, since it is on an engine and an exhaust port. So maybe it's just venting nuclear fluid, whatever the power cell is just venting, because the whole casing is ruptured. So this would be basically a sacrificial mech, to be honest with you. It just runs in there, bang, 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 and then explodes. There you go. Alright, so just like I said, I've got a 15mm mini here to do the size comparison. So you can see it, they work. Here's also a EM4 mech. The company's name is EM4. Basically, you could buy a sprue with a bunch of different parts for about $4. They're located in Europe, in the UK. So you got that UK shipping cost, but it runs about $6 or $7. Well worth it. You get a bunch of them because you can mix match and just have a field day, chop them up, you'll be good to go. But yeah, so the size is pretty comparable to them. You know, I do not have an Ironwind Metals mech available to me at this time, because the only one I still have is an Unseen Valkyrie. Basically a Wasp or Valkyrie or Phoenix Hawk. I'm not sure which one it is, to be honest, because I found it and immediately dumped it into a tank of LA's Totally Awesome to strip it so I could repaint it. But I'm assuming they are about the same scale. So the big question is, are they worth the price? Normal price is about $14 a piece. Okay. Ironwind Metals are about the same also. So what it comes down to is voting with your wallet. Can you afford $14 per resin mech plus shipping from Poland? Now, Poland's shipping price is not as bad as the one from the UK, because I don't know what's going on with the currency calculations right now, but ordering stuff from the UK is becoming less and less attractive to me, unfortunately, because of the conversion price. Nothing we can do about that. That's out of our hands, you know, and we don't want our manufacturers to go out of business that we like, but at the same time, it's getting harder to support them. That's just my point of view on that. So yeah, with the Ironwind Metals, they're about the same price. The only difference is that I've seen, and I finally was able to find a place that actually carries some BattleTech minis. A lot of the molds, a lot of them look like you've still been using the same molds from 20-something years ago, like from when I was a kid. So it's just I don't know. Right now, Strato Minis is having a sale up until September 20th. They are like $11.48 US per mini, which isn't bad. And again, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. At $11 a mini, I would buy more. That seems like a very fair price to me. Normal price is about $15 per mech. Is that a fair price? Yes, I believe it is. I can say that it is. However, at $15, I would think, well, personally, I would like them to be at least 5 millimeters taller. Just slightly taller. And I could probably get in on that $15 price tag for it. Doubt they will do it. Maybe next year. Who knows? But I can say that Strato Minis, they are very receptive to comments, suggestions, and reply to emails or messages through the Facebook page. So, you know, give them a shout. Let them hear your thoughts, because they are receptive. They are. That's the great thing about smaller companies. They will listen to you versus some of the bigger companies that you have to wait a couple days for a reply, then you get an automated reply, then you wait another day or two, and then you finally get somebody in the PR department that may or may not actually know what you're talking about. So yeah. So once again, these are them. Like I said, there's a couple more that I'd really like to have. Just gotta wait for this new gig to get rolling, and I can get back into gaming as I used to. So what do you guys think? What do you think of these mechs? I like them. I wish I did a better job on this Bullshark, but hopefully that'll be remedied once I get the new magnets, because this sucker's falling apart everywhere. I'm just gonna leave him there. Yay! Alright guys, you all have a good weekend. Let me know what you think, and again, thank you for 606 subscribers as of this morning, and let's keep it going. Thanks guys, have a good one.